News.
Well, welcome back, everyone. We are on the UT campus. Riley Robinson alongside Brent Hubbs of VolQuest.com. Tennessee coming off a heartbreaker, 44-41 against Georgia in overtime. Brent, this team's looking to turn the page, but I think one position group, we actually got to talk with the position coach today, Kelsey Pope, the wide receivers. I think the wide receivers have really surprised everybody. Don't you agree?
No doubt, and I think it's partly Joey Aguilar and what Joey has done, his ability to deliver the deep ball, to give him a chance to make a play. But those guys have gone out and executed a bunch of new stuff in the offense. They played really well. I mean, Braylon Staley is a guy who is a nice addition to the slot position. And then Chris Brazel has just kind of come out of nowhere, a guy who struggled with his confidence last year. He's playing really well right now.
You know, he and I sat down extensively, multiple times this offseason, watching his targets, all of his targets. We watched his deep ball targets. We watched the ones he made. We watched the drops. We went back and watched other guys. Him and Dante's got a like skill set. They got a like build. We watched guys like Nico Collins in the NFL, but I think having those meetings allow those guys to see it visually. I think they retain that a lot better, and they go train it after. And I think in the situation, it just makes them more comfortable and confident.
And the defense, looking to get some guys back, but I know UAB, they might hold off some guys before going to Mississippi State next weekend, but today we got to speak with William Inge, linebacker coach, and I know one thing that they really struggled with against Georgia is when Georgia got to the outside there. What do you think they need to really clean up heading into this week before they start back SEC play?
Well, I think it's tackling in space in an open field, particularly on the perimeter. Because, I mean, if you're UAB and you watch the Georgia tape, you're going to throw it out there to the receiver on the screen and see if they can make a play there. So I think they've got to clean up some of their tackling stuff. I think they got to read probably their keys a little bit better, play a little faster in some ways there.
The biggest thing just on our end, just a couple of small things, and usually it always comes down to details. Being able to finish some plays when you're in the open space. We had a few missed tackles that we have to clean up. That's probably the biggest thing on our end from our room that we've got to make sure that we continue to address and clean up and go through and work from on a day-to-day basis.
As William Inge said, got to finish, got to get off the field. That's the biggest key for this entire defense moving forward.
And what do you think Tennessee needs to do this week against this non-conference opponent in UAB to really prepare to head back into SEC?
Well, I think you got to be mature,
yeah.
and I think your leadership has to show up here, and your maturity has to come about that you're ready to play. You don't want to drag this thing out, look like a big slugfest because you're flat, you don't have the emotions. That's the challenge from Miles Kitselman and Arion Carter and the veterans on this team. They have got to be ready to play, and they've got to get the young guys to understand. You turn the page. Everybody in town's still talking about Georgia, and they're going to talk about that game all week long. As a player, you got to turn the page to get ready to play the next one.
Coach Heupel said it a lot this week. Don't be concerned with the rear view. Look out the window as we pass and take those teaching points, those moments that we can learn from, take those with us and get better off of them. So just being really intentional this week about how we prepare, not worried about the circumstances of last week, but just it's a new week and the opponent is nameless and faceless. It doesn't matter. We got to go give our all for Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee looks to turn the page as they welcome in non-conference opponent UAB to Neyland Stadium for the third straight home game in as many weeks this Saturday. For Brent Hubbs, I'm Riley Robinson on the UT campus for WVLT Sport.